right, welcome back to Into the Fray. I'm Austin, and I'm here with our new co-host.
Oh, I'm a co-host?
Yeah, you're a co-host. You're going to be on all the episodes now, so, hey, I'm Berlin.
Well, hey, I'm Berlin.
Berlin's going to be on the episodes from now on. This is like her introduction episode, basically, where from now on, the format will be me and you talking through the topics that I've covered in the blog. So the week prior to this episode coming out, I've put a blog out. And I've done a lot of research and studying and writing and stuff like that. And the blog is out. The podcast will now be once a month. There'll be like a testimonial or like an interview. And then the second episode of that month, there will be me and Berlin going over what I talked about in the blog. If you're thinking like, well, is he just going to be reading the blog? No, I'm not going to do that because you didn't listen to the Galatians series. The difference will be is I've prepared all this stuff for the blog, and I'm going to use that to guide us through the conversation. And so today's topic is technology and its role in our lives and how as Christians we can best utilize it or maybe get rid of it. Yeah, Berlin has not read the blog. She's going in blind, but hopefully it works out. So I'm going to start off. There'll be moments where I'm reading, and there's moments where like we're free-flowing and we have no idea what's going to be said next. All right. So you are the sum of the many different influences you've had in your life. The clearest example is the influence of your parents. Your mom and dad came together and literally created you. They each gave pieces of themselves to shape and form you into who you are today. The same is true as life goes on. All the different people that we have in our lives shape and form us in some way. Some are good, some traumatize us, some are... Wait, no, that's opposite. The good don't traumatize you, hopefully.
You said some.
Okay.
I thought.
So some are good and they don't traumatize you, hopefully. Some are bad, they do traumatize you. Regardless of what they do, the people in your life have an effect on you and who you end up becoming. Clearest example for me is, that comes to mind, is Kobe Tomlinson. Kobe was my youth pastor when I was in high school and middle school, and he showed me the gospel and he showed me what it meant to be a Christian in everyday life, and I got to follow him around and see how he lived his life, see how he loved his wife and his kids, and I sat up under his teaching for many years, and so I got like a lot of my teaching style comes from Kobe, and a lot of my views on life, good or bad, come from Kobe because of how much time I spent with Kobe and the impact he had on me at such a young age. So the same is true for the influence that technology has over us. Hundreds of years ago, people did more shaping and forming of individuals, but today, technology has taken a lot of the people in our lives' place at the crafting booth of our life. So, in what ways has technology or its use shaped and formed you?
Well, it's something we have to use every day. Like for me, I can't do my career or school without technology.
Yeah.
So it's like built into my life, even if I don't want it.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
It's a necessity for people who don't work in wood.
Yeah. Like I literally cannot finish my education without it.
Yeah.
How has it formed me?
Yeah, you have a different relationship with technology than I did. Because you weren't, it's probably safe to say I was probably addicted to it.
Well, I mean, I'm addicted to TikTok.
Yeah, you are. But you also, so when we got together, we both checked each other's social media out.
Mm-hmm.
You stalked me for like a few months and
What?
waited to strike.
No.
No.
That is not what happened.
You did look at my social media and I looked at yours.
Yes.
You had 5 posts on your Instagram, maybe.
Who's counting?
Yeah. There's barely, and there's no captions on like most of those photos.
And then
Besides like summer vibes or whatever.
I'm trying to be trendy. And then yours is like 300
Yeah.
photos. Just from that year.
Yeah.
Not from all the years.
Yeah. That's the ones I haven't deleted.
Yeah. I mean, I regularly delete posts, like, well, not so much anymore. Like, right now I have the most posts I've ever had. But, like, through high school, I'm trying to think of how to word this. Social media was another way to, like, control things.
Yeah.
And I think this goes for, like, anyone who has social media, really, is you create an image, whether it's true or false. Most of it's probably false. And so me keeping only 6 photos shows you 6 good things about me.
Yeah.
So regularly, I find a new thing that's great about me. I'm going to post that and remove something that's got triumphed or
That
whatever.
or that you've moved on from. Yeah.
Yeah. That picture's not so cute anymore.
I get that.
It's also formed how you look at others. Who do I mean?
What do you mean?
Oh.
I'm not asking you to call people out.
I was like, what do you mean? I have this wrote down is, how can you really love your neighbor if you judge everyone who isn't picture perfect? Because when you're online, you automatically are looking and you're like, oh my gosh, her hair doesn't actually look like that in person. Her makeup doesn't look like that. Yeah. She doesn't dress like that in person or talk like that.
I'm very bad at that.
Yeah. So, me too. So with that in like your mind is, okay, for how many years I did not have that view.
Yeah.
I went to school, hung out with my friends, and had nothing interfering. So I'm like, dang, these are wonderful people, and I get to see them.
There are no preconceptions.
Yeah, I can be like open and honest with them, and then social media comes in, and it's like, oh, well, like I need to now watch what I say to my friends. I need to watch what I'm telling them, because it's one friend going back and posting something. It's one friend editing their picture and you not posting the edited version, and then,
yeah,
now there's drama and stuff. So what did I say? I said it
changes your perception of people even before you meet them.
Yeah. So now, okay, I get, like, with college, I get my classes, and I can go and see who's in my class. What's the first thing I'm doing? Oh, I'm going to type in their name into Instagram, Facebook, shoot, Pinterest sometimes, see if I can find, like, if they're not on anything, like, oh, that's automatically, like, can I really talk to this person if they don't have social media? Are they real? Yeah. When most of the time, the ones who don't have it are, like, the best people.
I get that.
So, like, then I see them, and, like, I'm like, oh, well, she's in a sorority, so she must be, like, this, like, over-the-top, like, drinking.
Crazy partier.
And then I find out, like, no, she's actually
neighbors, too.
Yeah. I find out, no, like, she's a better Christian than half the people I've ever met.
Yeah.
Like, she is the person you need in your life. The sorority doesn't change that about her. Her Instagram post getting thousands of likes doesn't change that about her, because she knows everyone's name.
Yeah.
Type thing.
I get that.
I don't know if that answered your question.
Yeah, that answered the question. You brought up a lot of really good points I did not think about for someone who wrote a 5-page blog.
You're welcome.
I think for me, it shaped and formed me of, I got Facebook when I was like 13, which is stupid.
I think I got Instagram before I got Facebook, but I think it was like the same age.
I don't think Instagram was out when I...
Yeah. That's why I was like,
but
would have been...
And I was late to Instagram because I didn't have an iPhone. Like, when I had Facebook, I got on the desktop in the living room.
You couldn't have it on the other phones?
Not my phone.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I had a phone with a bunch of buttons.
Oh.
I didn't have any apps on my phone. Like, besides Tetris, I think.
That's interesting.
But I got it at 13, and at 13, I also, or maybe like a couple years, maybe it was not 13. Oh my gosh, I would have been like maybe 10.
And that's why I was trying to calculate in my head, is because I think the first...
Cole is 12 in 8th grade?
No, he's...
How old are you in 8th grade?
My sisters are 13. They just turned 14, and they're finishing 8th grade. So about 13, 14.
13. I got it in 6th grade, which would be 11. 10, 11.
So I would have got my first phone at like 10. But it wasn't
crazy.
Social media.
Yeah.
It was Minecraft.
I got my phone the same year I got on social media, which was when I was in 6th grade. And I became a Christian like 2 years after that. But then, obviously I went to church, so you still like, I thought I was a Christian the entire time. And I would see people posting scriptures or whatever, or like long posts talking about, like, basically preaching. And I thought that's what you're supposed to do with social media. And so then that's when what my username used to be on all my social media was FB Preacher, which I was thinking about today. FB probably means something very different today than it did then. Then it was one of my friends gave me that nickname because it was Facebook Preacher.
Oh, I mean, you can use FB for Facebook, but when you said FB Preacher, I thought you said FB Preacher. And I was like,
no.
Oh my gosh.
No.
Like,
what I was thinking about today, I was like, FB, like F-boy Preacher, which is probably a real thing somewhere.
Probably. On TikTok, probably.
Yeah, because you know how like the Christian boys are with their shirts off on TikTok. But I had that was my idea of what you're supposed to use social media for. Especially then when I became a Christian, then I was like I was let loose, because then I was like really passionate about Jesus, and I was telling people they're going to hell. And I was thinking about today. There was one girl in my grade whose grandmother was gay. And I had posted, it's Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. Yeah. This is like 8th grade Austin. And she commented, she's like, I have all the respect in the world for people who have religion or whatever, but this is so hateful and ignorant. And I think I tried to handle it. I do remember trying to handle it well then, and being like, I private messaged her thing. I was like, hey, I'm not meaning anything by it. It's what the Word of God says. Like, that whole line. But early on, it was a thing of, if you're a Christian and people can't tell that by your social media, are you really a Christian? Because everything in your life should be influenced by Jesus.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I didn't understand what social media was supposed to be used for if you're not posting on there. I mean, you've talked about that before. Like, people who, like, you go to their profile and they have nothing on there. But they're, like, you can tell they're on there because they like everything.
Yeah.
And
they use it.
Yeah. But if you're not contributing, I'm like, why are you here?
Yeah. I mean, I get that, but, like...
But I'm also envious of the people who get on there and they don't post anything because no one knows about their life. And I'm like, I like that. I would love that. But I'm not that guy.
Yeah. When I came onto social media, it was definitely not like that. Me and my friends were posting like, oh, look at our handstands. We can do the coolest like backflips.
Wow.
Look at our Minecraft builds.
I remember posing for, I was playing rec basketball then, and I wanted a cool like picture like LeBron James, and so my walls were painted gray in my bedroom, and they had like Georgia Bulldog stickers everywhere, and I wanted like a photo shoot type picture. And so I grabbed my basketball and my jersey, and I like posed on top of my bed, and I got Jessica to take a picture of just like the top part of me.
I can imagine this.
Yeah. And I thought that was so cool. But looking back, I'm like, dude, what are you doing?
No.
There's a lot of things like that of like me like posing, and I also like every guy has taken a selfie because you gotta post pictures of yourself on there so people know who you are. But then most guys aren't taking pictures with their buddies like girls do.
Yeah.
Like girls, like everywhere you're going, you're taking pictures and like you have photo op moments. Guys don't do that, and so then at a certain point you're like, yo, like there's no picture of me on my like Instagram. I gotta take a selfie real quick, and like, yo, maybe at the same time a girl was like sliding DMs. But yeah, so then we just end up taking all these awkward, weird photos. Like I have one in mind of Ryan Adams right now with his bowl cut.
No.
Yeah.
Poor Ryan.
And he's like taking a picture from like up high though, you know? Yeah. And like we all, it's weird like the things we do.
Yeah.
Anyways. So the effects technology has had on us, like what are they? When I was preparing for the blog, I was reading this book called Digital Minimalism by Cal Newport. In the beginning, he discusses the start of Facebook, a company that was targeted at college students. But really just as a means to check up on your ex-girlfriend, on what she was doing or who she was dating at the time.
Time to stalk.
Yeah. And there were no real intentions behind this company other than just connecting college kids. Fast forward to 2023, and Facebook is under the banner of Meta. That's like the new company that's...
Oh, that's what that is?
Yeah.
It's so annoying. I keep getting locked out of my Facebook every night. And it's saying that I'm being hacked because I followed someone new.
But no longer is like Meta is seeking to change the way we all do life compared to how Facebook originally started, which was just we're connecting college students. He had no real intentions. Now Meta is like, no, we have intentions and we're going through with it. So no longer is it Zuckerberg's goal to help you stalk your ex. Instead, his goal is to make a mirror life and an alternate reality, which is like the metaverse.
Oh, that's so crazy.
And for you to spend the majority of your time, energy, and resources in the metaverse. Zuckerberg may not have thought he was changing the world when Facebook first started, but you can be sure that today Zuckerberg very much so believes he's changing the world, and in reality he has. When Facebook started, those college students maybe checked it once a day at the most. Now people will spend hours of their day on Facebook or Instagram just scrolling, which brings me to, what is your screen time?
Today was high. It's up 73% from last week, but it's just based off yesterday and today.
Yeah. So far, we're recording this on a Monday. My daily average for this week is 40 minutes, and it's down 55% from last week.
Yeah, mine is based off Sunday and Monday is 3 hours and 15 minutes, and that is up 73% from last week.
Okay, what's your divide on like what it's being used on, like in the general?
It says social, other, and travel.
Okay.
I use normally like at least 30 minutes to an hour of maps, trying to figure out how to get places. Last week.
No, she goes basically to the same places.
Oh yeah, I drive to VSU. 2 to 3 times a week.
Yeah.
And I GPS probably 50% of the time to there. I went to my same doctor I've been going to for years, and I GPS there. I know exactly how to get there.
What is last week's?
Last week was 2 hours and 34 minutes.
Overall? Mm-hmm. That's actually really good. I was expecting like 7 hours.
Wait, is that not the right
Yeah,
thing?
that's right.
Okay.
So mine was an hour 42.
What's your total screen time at the bottom of that?
It's 12.
Mine was 18.
Entertainment is 7 hours and 23 minutes, which was really high on Thursday for some reason. I don't know what was going on Thursday. And social is 51 minutes.
You were off.
I don't have social media on my phone. I have it on my tablet, which means there's probably like a couple hours there. And then information and reading, which I have no idea what this is.
Yeah, I'm trying to
is 27 minutes.
Is that last week?
Yeah.
Mine is primarily social, and then creativity and productivity and finance. I don't use anything finance. TikTok was, I guess, the whole week was 3 hours, and Facebook was 2. But then I do try and think about, like, when I am on social media, is that I'm not only doing it for, like, my mental pleasure, I guess, of, like, scrolling, but, like, when I'm at school, half the time I'm using, like, Pinterest to find things for my lessons. So that's what I have, like, a 2-hour break, and I'm scrolling through Pinterest for hours trying to find these ideas for school.
Yeah.
I'm on TikTok, like, looking at teacher videos.
To be clear, for the audio, Berlin hasn't ever really been on the podcast in a long span of time, so she doesn't really know where to speak at when it comes to the mic. So if the audio is like up and down, and sometimes it's loud, sometimes it's quiet on her end, that's because she's moving around and the mic is everywhere but when she hits.
But no, I do, like, TikTok is my problem.
So,
I use it a lot.
The apps have taken control over our lives. We see this at every dinner table in a restaurant where each member of the family, even the 2-year-old, has their devices out, scrolling, laughing, seemingly having a good time. But that good time is not spent with those sitting literally not even a foot away from them. The seemingly good time is spent watching other people live a better life through the screens our eyes are glued to. The dinner's been interrupted, our jobs have been less focused, even churches have become props for aesthetically pleasing photos to entice more people to come and promote the business of the church. I love that last line. Our churches have become aesthetically pleasing photos. I was proud of that. What are some things you've noticed that have made you reconsider technology's role in your life?
Can you, like, give an example of, like, that for you? Because I have, notes, but I don't know.
The thought of Adeline, our baby girl that's about to be born, growing up and seeing Dad always on his phone or always, like, watching TV or always on his tablet or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the thought of that because I'm like, but then she's going to learn by nature watching me
to do it.
What to do when you're bored is just numb yourself to whatever screen's available. And I don't want her doing that. I would rather her pick up a book, which we've talked about, which is why I started, I think, late last year because I think that's when I wrote this. Late last year, I read this book and I started changing some things, and I tried to make it to where I'm reading 30 pages a day, and any free time I have, I'm doing something that doesn't require me to, like, watch something on a screen or whatever. Which is tough because we like watching movies and we love watching YouTube. Like, any chance, if I'm making eggs in the morning, I'm watching YouTube. I'm washing dishes, I'm watching YouTube.
Got that comedy special pulled up.
Yeah, anything. And I would just rather I'd rather Adeline grab some Legos, read a book, do anything but go to the screen first, because the screen is just so damaging for your mind.
Yeah. That's also something I struggle with, because I know, like, I'm not saying, like, in order to be a teacher you have to be on technology, but it's hard to be a teacher and not be on technology.
Yeah.
From what I've seen, you have a computer at your desk no matter where you're at now, and you're writing your lesson plans, you're emailing, you're playing videos for your class.
That, like, teachers are more and more so, like, using iPads as, like, their notebooks or whatever they're teaching from. I don't know how.
I know right now I'm in my program, and that is the case. Everyone has an iPad on their desk or a MacBook or some type of computer. You don't go to a classroom without that. I'm taking a class on technology and how to use technology and all of these crazy extensions.
It's crazy. It's crazy because when I was in school, I remember when the smart board was introduced.
Yeah.
And that was
they need to teach me how to use that. I can't do it.
Amazing. And then when I was in high school, they got an updated one. And it was like a little bit newer and cleaner, and it worked way better. I was like, yo, we've made it. But then in Miss Hankin-Smith's class, she's this older teacher, she'd only use the projector.
Oh, yeah.
And like she'd have her like marker board, like it sat right in front of my desk.
We still use those. The school I'm at now, my teacher uses, I don't remember what it's called. It's like a Dawkins, I don't know.
I have no idea.
It projects what you're like. It's a camera that's on your hands, and it projects it to like the board, basically. So
it's a camera on your hands?
Yeah, so it's a camera it's not like a tripod, but it's basically the same thing, is that there's like a camera over your hands, so that whatever you're writing, you're messing with manipulatives. So like if you're messing, kind of, basically. I think it has a different name.
But it just records like what you're doing.
And it just puts on the smart board.
Huh.
So like cool. It's in time, so that because you can't always show exactly what you're doing, it's easier to have it be able to like look at your kids while you're doing whatever.
Yeah.
But what I was saying was, I struggle with that because I know she's gonna see me on like using technology all the time.
Yeah.
I know that like I plan to teach wherever she's going. Like I would like to teach at the school she's going to school. I don't want to teach her, but classroom, what am I gonna be doing? Probably grading, doing lessons, something, and it's most likely gonna be on that computer.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come home the goal is to not bring work home, but if I have to, I'm gonna be on a computer. I'm gonna be doing something on the computer. It's gonna always be mom has something on the computer she has to do.
Yeah, which sucks.
Yeah.
Cause even me, my job doesn't require me to be on technology or anything like that. But then all my like extracurricular things I do after work all center around technology.
Yeah.
Like I run the church's social media, I run Into the Fray social media, then I have my own social media, and then like anytime if I'm learning something new that's not from a book, it's gonna be from YouTube or like the Bible Projects app or whatever.
I've also noticed that when I am on technology, it's primarily social media. Like if it's my own like phone, it's always on that. Like I don't know if that answers the question you were asking. That's why I asked you for like an example. But I know that it causes problems in my life because like when I am on Instagram, it's just photos of like, it can be celebrities or like people I know, people I've like
keeping up with the Kardashians.
Yeah, no. Oh no. I don't follow that. Or like friends of friends, I haven't met them. So now I'm comparing myself to these people. And the new one has been, especially with TikTok, is seeing these moms on TikTok, and you're like watching this 3-minute video, and you're like, man, like she's such a great mom. You open the comments, and it's all hatred, criticizing. Oh, well, you didn't wash that grape. You forgot that one grape, and you need to.
I feel like everybody talked about how like hateful Twitter was because of like politics, you know, being everything that's going on Twitter. Mm-hmm. But TikTok is a whole nother level of hate that like
it's scary.
Everyone's okay with, which makes no sense.
It's made me realize that I know there's always been that saying of like you hide behind your screen.
Yeah.
But that's like it's not, that saying's not really true anymore because these kids, like my sisters who are on social media, they only have TikTok, but they're on there, and the things they say now, before they had TikTok, they were like, hey, I would have never heard something like that come out their mouth. And then now, like,
you know about they're being introduced to all these new,
and now they like, they'll call you something, and you're like, what the heck does that even mean? And then like you have to go and search it up, and all this terrible stuff comes up, and you're like,
and
what
you don't even search it on Google, you search it on TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok's like
the new search engine.
Yeah, I search things on TikTok before I Google it half the time.
Yeah.
because who wants to read when you can just watch a quick video of someone talking?
Yeah, which is so dangerous because TikTok would then just be the like video form of Wikipedia, like back in the day,
so
where
bad.
you can, like, people. That's the thing I hate about when people send me Bible videos from TikTok and they're like, "Hey, is this right?" It's almost never right.
Mm-mm.
It's some random person who probably just met Jesus in the last couple of years, and then they're just, they don't understand theology, they don't understand how the Bible works, or like context, or like scholarship, or anything like that, and so they're just saying very dangerous things and quoting the Bible with it, and people just run with it as like God's truth.
You don't even need like quotes anymore. Like,
yeah,
you can post a video of like you just making some wild information up and everyone will believe you.
Yeah.
I need to get off technology.
Okay, so how can we change our relationships with technology? Cal Newport in his book gave 3 principles to help us guide to a life of digital minimalism. I should probably explain what minimalism is, maybe?
Yeah, shoot.
It's. I love that you just said shoot. You've never said that before, but it sounded so good. Digital minimalism is just like a branch off, like a spin-off of actual minimalism, which is a way of doing life that's more simplistic. You only have the things in your life which are needs, and you don't really have wants.
For example, Austin only wears black shirts because it makes his life easier.
That is very true. Like, I don't have the stress of having such a large quantity and variety. Yeah, maybe variety, that I'm standing in my closet every morning thinking, which one am I going to wear this morning? Am I going to wear the red shirt or the Looney Tunes shirt or the dress up shirt? Like, I don't have that problem because all my shirts are just solid black. It simplifies my life, makes the decisions I make easier, and yeah, that's minimalism. Aldi is the grocery store version of minimalism.
Yeah.
They've simplified. They've taken the variety of choice you have out and only gave you maybe like 1 or 2 options.
Which is nice.
Yeah, because then you're not like overwhelmed and anxious about the decision you have to make. Your decision, instead of being split up into 10 different decisions you have to make, it's 1 or 2. Which brings a lot of like ease and comfort.
So with digital minimalism, how would that look like?
That's where we're going to break it down at. So there's 3 principles that I took from the book Digital Minimalism. The first one is clutter is costly. Distractions in life are costly. The more distractions you have, the less focused and productive you'll be. Of course, many of us will hold this to be true when it comes to the way our homes are organized. We all learned hard lessons from the show Hoarders back. Did you watch Hoarders?
Yeah.
We specifically got to see individuals who had so much little clutter in their walkways that led to the decline of their overall health for their lives. Many of these individuals were depressed, anxious, or physically endangering themselves because of how cluttered their home was. And so the same can be true for technology. The more stuff you have on your phones or tablets, the more you have calling for your attention, the more you have speaking into your life. We need to declutter.
I need to declutter.
Yeah. Like, that's when... So, I talked about this on our social media episode, which is like the second episode we ever did of the podcast with Robbie. And I talked about how there's a year where I deleted all my social media and I got off. Because I felt like social media was having a damaging effect on my life. So I got off, and when I, a year later, got back on, I decided I didn't need all the social media I had before. I didn't need Snapchat. Granted, I don't think anybody needs Snapchat.
No.
It's terrible.
Get off Snapchat.
I didn't need Twitter. People down here don't use Twitter.
No, I don't.
Or X.
Yeah, I was about to say, I feel like I know one person who uses Twitter, and when they do, it's not even like, it's, let me look at this BTS like stuff.
Yeah.
Like, which I don't even know if that's true anymore. Like,
yeah. I used to get on Twitter because that's where all like the authors were and like the journalists and stuff like, and I was interested in hearing what they had, and you can engage with them. Like, some of my favorite musicians would respond to my tweets, which was cool. But also, is no one down here is using that. And the whole purpose of social media really, like, I feel like, should be just to connect you with your neighbor, not connect you with the person across. I mean, I guess it could still be good for that, but like,
compel.
I feel like the damaging part of that is, even if you're connected to someone, you live in Georgia, they live in California, and social media connects y'all, the likelihood of y'all ever actually meeting is slim, I feel like. And
y'all being true to each other.
Yeah.
Is like non-existent.
Yeah. So we need to declutter. We need to simplify our lives, and just you go through the question of, just think through the apps you're using and how often you're using them. Like, do I really need this? Like, reality, I don't personally really need Facebook. I don't post on there like I used to. I just share into the fray and the bridge post.
Sometimes you do it from like my phone.
Yeah. My dream would be for me in Berlin to have a joint Facebook and Instagram, but there is kind of something nice about having like separate profiles.
Yeah.
Of like, Berlin is like, she doesn't want to post all this stuff. Like, she has a way she wants her feed to look, and she's not like super like specific about it, but she doesn't want my junk, like all the stuff I want to post on there.
Who wants to post pictures of their books? I'm just kidding. One day.
Yeah.
One day.
And like, I want to post like what book I read and the rating of it.
And how long it took you.
Yeah. And it's taken a long time to read Harry Potter too. The second principle is optimization is important. There's a concerning ease of how quickly we download things to our phones. It's so easy to download and install a new app or feature that many of us do not take into consideration whether we should or not. So I work at a cabinet shop Monday through Friday every week for 8 hours a day, and in this shop we have tools. These tools have been carefully selected to better us in the craft of sculpting cabinets. We never aimlessly walk around Home Depot or Lowe's or Harbor Freight or wherever, grabbing random pieces of equipment that we see. The reason why is because we don't need every piece of equipment or every tool we see in the store. Cal brings up the example of the Amish community and how they, unlike popular misconception, use technology, which I did not know that. The Amish use technology, but they use technology in accord with the values they have.
Yeah.
Just because a piece of technology is convenient does not mean it is worth their time or energy. What?
I was about to say, I don't know if it's true for like all the Amish. I've like seen posts from the Amish community, and what I do see is like someone will sit down and explain like why they have a phone and stuff. And some of them, like, it's limited people. Like, there's... But, like I said, I don't know how true that is. It's TikTok. It's Instagram. But that's what I see is things like that is, like...
What? It's limited people as in...
Like, age and stuff like that. Like...
On who has a phone?
I guess so.
Or who they talk, like...
What you can do with it and, like, just... technology in general, which you should probably cut that out because I don't. That's facts.
That's yeah. Who cares about facts? We're not Ben Shapiro. This is Feelings, No Facts with Andrew Schultz.
Oh.
What?
I just pictured Andrew Schultz in my head.
Yeah. I just love that he picks on Ben Shapiro. You don't even know who that is.
I know the name.
He has a thing on his show that he's famous for saying facts, no feelings, which I would question a lot of his facts. Which is another bad part about technology is people just call things facts and they're not facts.
Yeah. Half the stuff on Google is not even true anymore.
Like, it's like growing up in church. I remember hearing people like say quote statistics. But there's a way you're supposed to study statistics, and it's not just by quoting them. Like there's purpose for statistics. I cannot stand this word. Stats.
Yeah.
There's a purpose for them. There's a way to study them, and
it's not to apply it to everything. It's applied to the study.
And that'd be like my biggest critique against Ben Shapiro is just like he I don't think he uses statistics right. But anyways, for the Amish, they asked a question that Donald Craybill recalls as, is this going to be helpful or is it going to be detrimental? Is it going to bolster our life together as a community or is it going to somehow tear it down? Technology at its best is a tool that can help you in your pursuits, but often it is at its worst a distraction or a convenience that takes away the value of life that God has so graciously bestowed on us. I really like that when he rephrases his question. He says, is it going to bolster our life together as a community or is it going to somehow tear it down? When they're thinking about values and how to use technology in accord with your values, their mindset is, how does it build community, not tear it down?
Yeah.
Which is complete opposite of what we do.
Because how does it build me up?
Yeah. Or even, this is my struggle with like live streaming your church service, is a lot of people will skip out on coming to actually be with other people and build community. You need life on life. You need like physical contact. Yeah. They'll skip out on that to watch a live stream because their idea of what church is and what you get from it is simply a good message and some good songs and, sets you for your week.
Yeah.
And that is trash theology. Like, that is so terrible. Like, when Jesus even, like, he's teaching people in the synagogues and he's, like, discipling it, like, that's not a verb. That's not a verb. That's what I learned from John McCormick. When he's teaching his students, he's doing it like question and response. Like, he is actually, that thunder?
I think so.
Yeah. He's teaching them, but he's also asking them questions. He's getting engagement. And you can kind of do that with social media and live streaming your church service by like the comment section. Like VU Church did that during COVID. As they, like, Rich Wilkerson Jr., during his sermon, he'll be like, respond in the chat, like all this stuff. And during COVID lockdown, where literally no one was out, it was that time of COVID, it made sense. Like, it was actually kind of cool and like encouraging.
Yeah.
But then I think sometimes we go so far trying to reach people that we forget the purpose and why we, like, sometimes you don't need to reach people with every tool you have. Sometimes you need to, I don't think reaching people at all costs is a good enough argument to do things.
Yeah, and then you start you're going over the people who you have reached, like your in-person people.
Yeah. You
care more about the ones online than the ones who are
We
here.
pour thousands upon thousands of dollars on video, audio equipment, stages, and lighting and all that stuff to make the live stream look good. But we will not pour that much into curriculum for a Bible study that's meeting every Sunday night.
Yeah.
And we will not pour that kind of money into training up our own pastors and elders and teachers in theology and studying God's word. Instead, we'll just be like, no, just go to college and you spend like your own money. You go into a ton of debt.
Yeah.
When that is not how like the church was set. Like Jesus said, just like we need to be disciples who make disciples. We need to be students who become teachers teaching other students. Like passing on the tradition.
Yeah.
Not outsourcing it to college where they have to go and like they have to move to North Carolina or they have to move to Virginia, or they're just like, online, which I know we know people who are online in seminary or whatever.
Yeah.
But they're still paying out of their own pocket like at least $40,000 a year for tuition.
It's expensive.
Just to understand the basic principles of Christianity, which is dumb. Like, that's what... It makes no sense that we have a church on literally every corner in the South and no one understands the Bible. Like, still, a church on every corner of the street, and if you walk down the street and you say, hey, what does it mean to be a Christian? Half of them are still going to say, I got baptized in my grandma's church, when I was a kid, and I don't even go to church now or like follow anything about Jesus, but like I got saved and I got my ticket to heaven.
I know John 3:16.
Yeah.
That's one I've heard so much.
And so I really like that one part of that question. The third principle is intentionality is satisfying. Imagine living a purpose every moment of every day. You're free to live out the purpose for why you're here. The same can be true for our relationships with technology. In 2023, we are seeing a rise in conversation around what it means to be a man. For many men today, after the rise of the Me Too movement, which is a terrible movement.
I don't know enough about it.
I was just joking.
I was like...
No, Me Too movement was good, I think, overall.
I thought it was good when they started it, and then it went against its purpose or something. I don't know.
I agree. For many men today, after the rise of the Me Too movement, they feel as if they have no reason to live. They feel they have no value or importance in society at large. This is in turn why the rise of the red pill community has become alarming, and like people like Andrew Tate and all that stuff. That's why they're famous. Many men who are longing for a reason to exist are gravitating to other men who are giving them bad reasons to exist. Many of these bad reasons are to get rich quick, conquer the world, and treat women as inferiors, as valueless beings who need to be trampled on, or used. Yes, gross. Tech companies in 2023 likewise have given many of us a bad reason to use what has been created. By the greatest minds of our generation, a lot of us have been convinced that we should use our technology to numb the brain, distract ourselves, and not have to encounter the uncomfortable, awkward, and weird areas or people in our lives. We have been given a tool to connect with others that has left many of us who use it the most feeling the most disconnected. So when we back up, declutter, carefully choose, and intentionally use the tech that we have in our lives, we will be able to reconnect with the greater purpose for why we are here to begin with. I thought it was good, like when I came back to social media and I specifically chosen which ones to get. I chose Facebook because most of the older people in my life are on Facebook.
Yeah.
And I chose Instagram because most of the younger people in my life are on Instagram. So if I'm going to use it to connect with people, Instagram and Facebook make sense. Twitter didn't make sense. No one's on there.
Yeah. That's funny because if I was to pick the social media I'd keep now, it wouldn't be for connecting with people. I wouldn't. I'd say bye Instagram. Bye Facebook, taking all my money. But like for me, social media is kind of hard because the things I like about social media is like Pinterest. I get to look at pretty things that I want to put in my house. I get to look at that type of stuff. Like Instagram, I guess maybe I just don't follow enough people, but no matter how many, if I get on there once, I've seen every post for that day, for that week probably. Tomorrow, I guarantee you, if I open my Instagram, it will be the same post I have already liked today. Half my stuff is ads.
So true. Yep.
Because
yours is way more ads than mine.
Yeah, mine
is crazy.
Because the people I follow don't post enough.
Yeah.
I follow less than 10 celebrities. Maybe I could probably even say 5.
That's a good thing to point out, though. One of the values I came back to with social media was to connect with people that I actually know. Mm-hmm. And so at first I was like, I'm not going to follow celebrities because there's no reason to.
Yeah, they have nothing in my life.
Then I start following celebrities, and I was following like 100.
Oh wow.
Yeah, maybe even more. I then went through I don't want to call it detox. What is I went through and started deleting ones, and I was like, if you're not adding to my life and like giving me value when I see your stuff, you're out. Which sucked because some people like I like their music or I like their movies or whatever they do. It's just what they post didn't build me up.
Why I don't follow celebrities is because I can love watching a celebrity in a movie, but like I'll use like women for example, is they can be this like awesome character that I look up to in a movie, and then I go on their social media and it's half naked pictures in every single post, and that's not something that's benefiting me. Sorry if that's too explicit to say.
No, same for guys. Of like
same
like
concept.
Guys, if you're just posting a shirtless photo of your abs, it's probably not adding value to my life, even though I do look at your abs and I'm like, I want your abs. But like that's when I was like, okay, I'll follow like a David Goggins because he's gonna post something that's gonna motivate me and inspire me. I need that when I'm working out and I don't want to work out. Matt Diavella, I mean, his stuff is just always like, it always adds value because he's trying new things.
That's his point.
Yeah, that's all he does. He's like made a whole movie about minimalism. And I think he actually made a video about technology.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Cody Ko.
Love Cody Ko.
Which is crazy. Like, Cody Ko, he's an entertainer. Like, he DJ, like, all this stuff. But then he has his Cody Trains Instagram account and YouTube channel that's just like vlogging him training for marathons. And that added value to my life because I'm like, I want to be someone who's disciplined and who trains and all that stuff, not necessarily for marathons. And so that's where it just added value to me. So lastly, what are our values as followers of Jesus? What are our values as followers of Jesus? That was that's not one of the questions I sent you.
Okay, I was like, that is not how you worded that.
But how I worded it in the questions I did send you was, what part of Jesus' message most challenges you in your social media use?
Again, I don't know if I answered this right because he did send me some questions to think about and like ponder with. And so what? I was ponder not the right word.
No, I was just drinking. I do think this episode is going really well.
Thank you. But so I wrote down, what part of Jesus's message challenges me with social media use? Is that what?
Yeah.
Okay. And I said everything. I honestly think everyone would probably be happier and have a better life if they weren't on social media. I've done so where I've went without social media, and that's when I feel the greatest. That's when, guess what? I'm actually opening my Bible. I'm not just reading the Bible app verse of the day, which you barely read because it's like, that's not the version of my Bible, so I'm not going to read that.
Also, no offense to people who do this, I think the verse of the day is crap, but you read, like when I used to do that, you read it, but you have no context whatsoever, and so you're just reading empty words.
Yeah.
Like, what? That's like reading one sentence out of Harry Potter a day.
It's not going to make sense.
Yeah, you're like, okay.
I feel like the intentions of verse a day is for you to click on it and go and read that, like read about it and not just read the verse.
But that's where I'm like, I've told you and I've told Chase this as well. I think the verse of the day advice is garbage because it's like telling someone to go to the gym and just do one dumbbell curl and then that be it, in hopes that they one day want to stay there longer. And it's like, well, they're never going to want to stay there. It's going to become a waste of time because they're actually not ever getting anything out of it because they're not doing enough. You got to be like, no, go for 30 minutes a day or something.
Yeah.
And that is a better piece of advice than a verse a day. Anyways.
But what I was saying is I think everyone would be better without social media, if I'm honest. Because it's not the world we live in anymore. Like, it's just social media. Social media, you create this, I guess, alternate reality.
Mm-hmm.
And so then you become this like alternate person even towards like your friends and your family, and nobody opens up with anybody anymore. Nobody wants to hang out unless it's a photo op. So then it's like, okay, so as a Christian and with my values, I don't want to be a judgmental person. I don't want to be a fake person. I don't want to be someone who only cares about the picture and how my feed looks and stuff. I'd rather break my... I'm pregnant. Brain blank. Frick. I'd rather be the person who doesn't have that preconception. of people. Is that the right words?
Yeah. A preconceived idea.
Yeah.
About people we haven't met.
Yeah. Because, I think that I have this wrote down too, is we are all evil with technology, even if it's not our intention. It does not matter. Like, when I wrote that, I immediately thought about my mom. My mom has Instagram, and I've noticed, like, she's been liking more things on Instagram because it pops up. But my mom doesn't use it. But is she still evil with it? Yeah, heck yeah. My mom's going to go look at someone's from work post and be like, I know what they were doing Saturday.
Ooh, Nicole.
Not that that's true, but unintentionally, she's became like evil with the social media. My sisters who are only on TikTok, now they have idols
to like your evil devices or something like that.
Yeah,
I think that's the same.
And then I think you kind of hit on this with the Amish. Maybe is that what you're talking about? I said it takes all of your focus when you could be doing things such as reading your Bible, meeting friends, creating that community. Mm-hmm. The values I think you should have as a Christian and what Jesus' message is reaching out to those people. And I know I'm terrible at it. I am terrible at answering a text message about hanging out. I'm terrible about inviting people over. I'm terrified to hang out with people. And
there have been a few times where we have people coming over, and as they pull up, Berlin's like, tell them no.
Just go home. I can't do it.
We end up having a great time, but there's always that moment of panic where I'm like,
and I'm literally about to vomit because I'm so freaked out. I have tears in my eyes and throw up in my throat, which is gross to say, but that is the wholehearted truth. But I feel like social media, and you can have technology and not be bad with social media. With technology, but I think social media, no matter what, is going to hurt you in some way.
I agree.
You can use social media every day and be like, oh, it has no effect. Okay, go without it for 3 days even. Go without it. Yeah. You're going to hate life because you got so stuck on social media and TikTok. Oh, well, when I'm bored, I scroll on TikTok. Yeah. Okay, now you're without it. You have no clue. You don't even know how to sit in silence with yourself anymore.
That's so true. But then if you stick to it long enough, you'll be like, I kind of like it.
Go 30 days without it.
Yeah.
I like doing that. That first week, I'm like, I'm just going to download it back. I hate everything. And you're angry at the world. You're angry at everything. But you keep going and you're like, oh, well, no, actually, I saw the sky today. I saw the clouds. I realized I saw that.
Did you know it was blue?
That's my sister's quote.
Yeah.
But, you see those things, and it's cool watching, like I said, I have younger sisters. It's cool watching. One sister is on social media, on the TikTok, nonstop, and on the Xbox. And the other one, when she's on social media or when she's on her phone, she's shopping.
Which is also probably not a good thing.
No, we are very...
Because then it just makes you materialistic. Yeah. And,
But seeing the differences of Bella, who said, did you know that, the sky looks so blue today?
I love this. You're just calling out members of your family. Next, let's call out Ryan.
Ryan, when he's not on his social media, he's answering everyone's phone calls. He's talking to everyone, making friends with everybody. He's gonna grill you a dinner, but when he's on the social media, okay, the light's off in the living room. He's curled up on the couch like a crab. But you see that dynamic right there just with, like I said about Ryan, is there is one bubbly awesome. We love Ryan. We love Ryan either way, but then the other Ryan is, okay, maybe he's a little sad. He's not. But you walk into the living room and you're like, ooh, I don't like how it feels in here.
This is so funny.
But,
Yeah.
I don't know if any of that made sense.
No, it makes sense.
But
I have 2 values that I kind of boiled down as followers of Jesus that we should have. The first value, we've already mentioned it a little bit, but when Jesus was asked what the greatest commandment of the law is, Jesus quoted the Old Testament saying, love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment. And the second is like it, love your neighbor as yourself. So years ago, as a practice, I learned from Jonathan Edwards. I began writing resolutions for my life. Berlin can attest to this. I had, on my tag board,
keep going.
I have resolutions wrote on a piece of paper, and it's 2 lists, 2 columns. One's love God, one's love people, and it's like resolutions about how to do that. Anyways, these were reflections, goals, values that I seek to instill into my everyday. And for a year or so, every morning I would get up and read these resolutions as a guideline as I started my day. Of I'm starting my day off, reminding myself of my purpose. Where I differed from Jonathan was I categorized my resolutions into those 2 columns, one being principles or disciplines on how to specifically love God throughout my day, and the other being principles or disciplines on how to love my neighbor throughout my day. When it comes to technology, we must first surrender ourselves to the greatest commandments to love God and love others. That must be the foundation on which we build on. Before you ever download, install, or even open up an app or a stream, ask yourself, how is my use of this in submission to loving God with all my heart, soul, and mind, and how is my use of this loving my neighbor? Very quickly, I also want in the same character of my resolutions, give 2 practices that are in accord with these values. Oh, what? Oh, no, those are the values. Those are 2 values. Okay, and then these are the 2 practices or disciplines. You may have heard the famous line that God speaks in a still small voice. He's not desperate for your attention. You either will hear him or not. The question we must all wrestle with is, will we attune ourselves to hear the voice of God? This requires us to unplug from all distractions and inputs in our life. It requires you to make yourself still, kind of what you were saying earlier about not being okay with being alone with yourself.
Yeah.
It requires us to unplug from all distractions, inputs in our life, make ourselves still, stop being a busybody and doing a million things, and stop even doing one thing, just be still. Which is super hard because there was a month where I wasn't reading my Bible. I was reading books in the morning because my quiet time's usually in the morning before Berlin gets up. And I wasn't reading my Bible for a month. I was just taking a breather because I read my Bible a little bit differently these days. And when I finally was going to start reading my Bible again, I was convicted because I was like, I need to spend more time in prayer and meditation. I'm getting up, starting the coffee, and jumping right into deep theological work, breaking down the Bible. And I need to stop and reflect and talk to God and listen to God. And I haven't been doing that. But that requires me to be still. And even me trying to do that first day was just making me anxious. And I was I just want to open up my Bible and start reading. Because you don't feel productive when you're just sitting in silence and pray, doing the quiet meditations. But you need to do that because it settles yourself.
Yeah, that's why I do it while I'm driving.
Yeah. I remember reading once about how astronauts train their bodies for space, and one of the areas they train is their ears. We have so much noise today in our society that it's almost impossible for people to be alone in the quiet. But for astronauts in space, it is physically painful how quiet it is because you can hear your bones rub up against each other.
Your blood.
Yeah, your blood, your everything. You can hear everything, and it will drive people insane. This is where in the blog I have a link to Ryan Trahan's YouTube video about being in the quietest room in the world.
Oh yeah, I love Ryan Trahan.
Yeah. You're not gonna quote shout out his wife?
I love Haley Pham.
There you go.
I watch her all the time.
Yeah. Jesus also pulled himself away from the noise and inputs of his world. Regularly throughout the Gospels, you can catch Jesus routinely pulling himself from the crowds and into the deserted place. The more famous story of Jesus retreating into the wilderness is the story of Jesus after his baptism, Matthew chapter 3, where chapter 4 shows Jesus going out into the wilderness or solitary place to be tempted by the devil. in this story, Jesus spends 40 days and 40 nights fasting. And it's interesting because fasting, in one sense, is just starving your body. It's not giving your body what it needs, which makes you physically weak and anxious and angry, like hangry. And but that's fasting. And it's built to do that, to expose you to the worst parts of yourself. And then that's where God does the work of like building the spirit within you. Which is why the story is so famous, because we see a physically malnourished Jesus be able to resist the devil to his face. It's physically when we're all at our worst. It's when we're hungry and we haven't eaten. And that's where Jesus was able to resist the devil, unlike Adam and Eve, who they were eating. They were eating good. So yeah, that's something where like Adam and Eve weren't able to do. Jesus relying on the Spirit, being attuned to God's will for 48 days and 40 nights, it's enabled to do. It's not the only time Jesus goes off to the lonely place. If you like go through the Gospels and you have a highlighter, I think it's cool to go and just highlight every time Jesus walks away from the crowd. Like people will be like, I want to follow you wherever you go. And Jesus is just like, yeah, I'm just going to go to the mountain by myself. And he like dips.
Or he's like, they're like, I want to follow you. And he's like, actually, no, you stay.
Yeah.
Like, you stay with these people.
But Jesus regularly, like it was a regular part of his life of unplugging, which is something all pastors should probably do. And I was thinking about that today. I was like, it's probably really good that we have summers off for the youth leaders, because it's like a built-in like sabbatical. Like we get a break. We get to regroup. Like last year at the end of youth, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to do youth anymore. Had a break, came back, and this has like been the best year of youth ever, and I want to do it forever. So you just need a break sometimes.
Yeah.
Even Christmas break, like it was another like rejuvenating like.
Yeah, because I feel like you were very stressed going into Christmas break, and then you came back and you're like, ooh.
Yeah. We need to take a break. We need to be. We must practice the heart of God by being slow to speak and quick to listen. The second practice I would encourage us to think through as we reevaluate our relationship with technology is to reassess our relationships with others. Community is a high value for the life of a follower of Jesus. Does the church need you? Yes. But you need the church, which I think was something that really challenged me. When I had first realized that, was I had always grown up hearing people say, the church needs you.
Yeah.
And they're like begging people like, no, stay here.
We got to keep our doors open. You gotta come.
Yeah. We need you physically, like, or monetarily, like we need your money.
Yeah.
But also like we need you. But I think more so we need to like start communicating to people. No, you need the church. You by yourself are no good. You need people in your life. You don't need to be isolated. You need community. So you need to be doing life on life with other individuals in your faith community. Social media is a great tool to connect with others, but there's something truly magical about spending one-on-one time with other people in reality. So for me and you, the thing that we've been trying to do once a month, and like February, we're trying to figure out a way to do this. We might be getting coffee with somebody. Is we're trying to be more intentional about spending time with people and building relationships. And so like the past 2 Sundays we did really good. We met 2 new couples. Mm-hmm. We got to know their names, where they're from, who they are, like all the facts we could. Because we value that and we want to get better at that. Because I've been slacking on meeting people lately.
And I struggle.
And then Berlin doesn't even care to meet people. You know?
I do care. I'm just terrified. It's really hard, but I'm doing it.
Yeah, you're doing really good. And
I
then
might go home and cry.
and then we've been like, it's either we're gonna try to have someone over once a month, maybe, or just like spend time with somebody once a month, which is where we might just go out and get coffee with them instead. But like January, we had Daniel and Valencia over. And it was nerve-wracking because I don't know these people. Berlin knows them, and like she said
we haven't
earlier,
hung out in a
yeah,
while.
like there was some anxiety of like, what if this goes horrible?
Oh yeah, I saw their headlights and I'm freaking out. Like do I stand up? Do I sit down? Like, tears in my eyes, like, asking you what to do. And you're like, just open the door.
Yeah, just start with the first thing. Open the door.
I couldn't even do that. You had to open the door.
Yeah. But then that night was like one of the funnest nights I've had in a while.
Yeah, that was great.
Like, I
Shout
love
out
Daniel.
Valencia and
Yeah.
Daniel.
So that's just an example of how me and you are trying to be more intentional about caring about other people and meeting people and building relationships, stuff like that. Online, we may be able to bypass awkwardness in a conversation or to not ask get to know you questions because their profile says all we need to know. This goes back to Berlin's like preconceptions talk of you can literally come up with a whole persona of somebody just by their social media.
Yeah.
But dealing with others in real life forces our bodies to take on the heart and mind of Jesus. Like I said a minute ago, the heart of God is slow to speak and quick to listen. And conversations and building relationships with people in real life force you to have to take on the character of God to make any real progress. To make any real progress in a relationship, you have to listen, which I'm not good at. You have to deal with them talking a lot, which I'm not good at.
Yeah, that's been a hot topic.
Yeah. I struggle with this with Berlin. That's confession.
I like to talk, but only to you.
And I like to talk about things I like to talk about.
Yeah. It's just our struggle is I have things I want to talk about us, I want to talk about everything.
If she sees the like slightest thing that she can talk about, she's going to talk about. If the wall that's always been gray, she notices it's gray and like it's a certain shade of gray, she's going to talk about it for a while.
But you don't care.
Yeah. I just want to talk about theology or what I heard on a podcast or doing the podcast or the cabinets. Which means like that's where taking on the heart of Jesus is convicting, because then I'm like, no, to love Berlin well, I need to be slow to speak and I need to be quick to listen. And I'm not quick to listen. I might be slow to speak in regards to like, I'll let you talk, I think.
But you ain't listening.
Yeah, but I ain't listening.
But that's something we work through.
Yeah.
We work together on.
And so that's where understanding the values Jesus had and like trying to take them on will force you in a relationship to grow more into like Christ. This is why community matters. People are hard to deal with. Personalities can be hard to overcome. But that's also how God designed it to take place. You may not like the church you're at because the people bug you and they're annoying or whatever, but sometimes that's the best thing for you because, one, the thing you find most annoying in someone else is probably in you as well.
Yeah, I'm sorry, it made me think of the thing of like, you ask God, please like open this door, like open my eyes. Mm-hmm. And like specifically like patience is the one I hear all the time, and you're like, God, please help me like learn patience, and the next day you're going to the most annoying place.
Yeah, so that you can learn patience.
But you never realize at first.
But this is how God designed it to take place, because when we deal with someone whose personality is a little too much for us, we are then convicted by the Spirit in us to have humility and say, but I'm hard to deal with as well. In closing, how will you center your life around the values of Jesus? How will you take on the lifestyle he had? How will you stop yourself from submitting to the lordship of technology, instead surrender yourself to the lordship of Jesus? Final thoughts?
About that?
Listen, we're done.
I was just thinking about how you can, it's kind of not about like the Jesus thing, it's about in your like relationships, I guess, and like your family. It's like we're about to have a baby girl, and
oh my God.
I think about like the things we do and how like me specifically, like I need to work on like my usage of social media and stuff like that. So I guess like, how would you, if someone was to ask, how can I be that role model with social media with my child while still using it, if that makes any sense?
Are you asking me that?
Yeah.
How can I be a role model to my child with how I use social media?
Yeah. Because, like, a little back thing is, like, we don't want Adeline to be using social media. We don't want her to, like, have an iPhone and stuff.
Which people look at us like we're crazy.
But what 5-year-old needs Instagram and Snapchat None.
I remember telling some friends years ago, my kids weren't going to have a cell phone until they're 16 because I didn't see the need for it. Now, granted, yeah, we probably let them have it at like 13 or whatever. Depending on
situation.
But social media, there's no need for them to have social media. And this idea that, you have to have it because you got to keep up with the ball team or whatever is garbage. You don't have to do these things. It's just how our culture has wired us. Like, we talk so much about how the culture is teaching us all these things about all these, different woke ideologies and how it's affecting our kids. But we don't talk about how, we just blindly let technology shape and form our kids however technology wants.
All right, I'm going to turn on Miss Rachel, and that's the only thing. I love Miss Rachel.
We hand a kid an iPad at 2 years old.
And get mad at them for being attached.
Yeah, or get mad at what Disney's feeding them. And it's like, well, you've taught them to go to the iPad. You're not teaching them anything. So, of course, Disney's going to teach them stuff. That's what Disney's designed to do.
Yeah. So, I guess my question is...
Yeah, sorry.
Because I know there's parents like us and, future parents that are I want this for my kids. But, me, I'm on social media and I live, with technology. I have to use technology.
I think you need to... I'm not talking to you specifically.
Yeah.
But, I would think it's the same thing for me. I'm a parent trying to figure this out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing an audit on all my technology use. An audit, I'm re-examining my use of technology and, questioning, is it necessary?
Yeah.
When I'm at home, when I first come in, do I sit down and watch TV for an hour?
Mm-mm.
No, I wasn't asking like that.
Oh, I was like, no.
That's the question you gotta ask. Is when I come home, what is my kid seeing first? Me go straight to the TV or straight to my phone, or are they seeing me take my shoes off, kiss my wife, and get down on the floor to play with them?
Yeah.
I would think the advice I would give to a parent is just you need to deeply and very harshly critique your use of technology, and then we all use technology because we love it and we get entertained by it, but then also because it's useful.
Yeah.
And so you just need to go through and ask the question like the Amish people do of is it
building my family?
Yeah. Is the TV building my family together or not? And if it's not, get rid of it. Or limit the use of it. The Bethkes, Jefferson and Alyssa Bethke, I loved what they did. He's a famous author, if you didn't know. They have a giant bookcase in their living room. And in order to watch TV, they have to pull the TV out of the closet, plug it in, get the Wi-Fi going, and all this stuff in order to watch one movie. And you got to do work, just like you would have to if you're going to read a book.
Yeah.
A lot of times, the reason why we watch TV so much, or why I even watch YouTube so much, is because of how easy it is to pull it up. It takes no time.
We watch, New Girl every time when we eat.
Yeah, because it's just so easy to throw New Girl on and watch it for the 10 minutes we're eating. Yeah. And so then that's where we have to sit back and be do we need to do that? Probably not. We need to get back. But granted, I think that's the good part about this episode of the podcast is we're being honest about where we're falling short in this area and how we need to get better, and we already are trying to get better. So yeah.
Yeah, I think that to be that role model for your kid, that you can't be a hypocrite, I guess.
Yeah.
Is even if you're still using it, you're not going to be perfect at first. Look at me. I'm 7 months pregnant, and what was my screen time? So, yeah, I still got some time to work on it, but it's not, until she comes, it's not something that I'm oh, well, I need to stop now type thing, when I probably should. So I would think that if you can't say you don't want your kid to be on an iPad if you're on your phone all day.
Yeah.
Type thing.
That's challenging.
Yeah.
I say I don't want Adeline to be an iPad kid. And
you're an iPad kid.
I'm an iPad kid.
So I think that's like what you were saying is like you have to take a look at how it's affecting you.
Yeah.
Because I put her to bed and then I go spend 3 hours on my phone. Okay, I'm hypocritical towards her then because just because she's not seeing me on it, I'm still doing exactly what I don't want for her.
Yeah.
And I can never get mad at her for doing it if I'm doing it.
Which in my mind just brings to mind Jesus' Sermon on the Mountain where he says, you may say that you ain't committed adultery, but your thoughts are lustful, which means you've already committed adultery in your heart.
Yeah.
And like a lot of us, like we tell our kids, you know, we don't want you to be an iPad kid. But then it's not even like in our hearts we're an iPad kid. It's like, no, we go to bed and we're an iPad kid.
I'm watching Flintstones every single night to go to bed.
Yeah. Well, that is it.
Deuces.